everybody, welcome back to Bitch. It is January 6th Eve, my friends. Are you guys ready for this? So tonight, so far, Angel's here, and Warren's here, and Steve's here. There may be more people joining us throughout the time. The link's out there to I don't even know who at this point. So we'll see who shows up. But hey guys, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? It's January 6th Eve.
Yeah, great.
Steve is our resident right wing or alt right. What do they call you? Gateway to the alt right.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah. May the may the blessings of the JW Marriott wash over you. Protect and keep you. Let's what else? What even know?
Well, you were there, so I mean, allegedly, you were there.
No, I was there. I didn't go inside the Capitol or anything. Like, I would be one of the 700 people that have been arrested over had I been inside the building. That's not what we were trying to do anyway. But no, it was so weird. I was talking with Burmis about this. It was just the other day. The change in vibe from the middle of the morning when it was like lame, day drunky kind of music festival vibe to there's tear gas and the Capitol Police murdered an unarmed woman and there's clearly agents and agent provocateurs running all over the place, and this is kind of nuts. It was obvious to me in the moment, and I said it on somebody's podcast that day or that night that I was watching the whole last PSYOP in real time. I told Homeboy, I'm like, there's gonna be domestic terrorism legislation. It dawned on me as I'm standing there watching shit get torn up that about a week and a half prior to the January 6th Capitol insurrection, Glory Jones and I on Slow News Day covered a weird little expenditure in the emergency legislation that Donald Trump originally vetoed, then let go through because, boy, we had to get those $600 checks. That was the first $600 of the $2,000 that Joe Biden gave everybody. I didn't get any. But, that was the first 600 of Joe Biden's 2,000 that Donald Trump initially. And in that, $180-some million for repairing and replacing anything that was damaged or broken and repairing the grounds of the Capitol, inside and outside. Almost $200 million allocated just days before. And then Cori Bush comes up, hasn't even been sworn into Congress yet, or just was, right? Or just got elected?
She was just sworn in, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Not even, hadn't even taken office. I don't think
she hasn't.
Not on January 6th. I don't think, but it was like
But she's got domestic terror legislation with her name on it as an author. Ready to go the next day? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, January 6th was honestly, and we said it at the time. I mean, it was, to me, it was so obvious what was happening. I mean, it was a show. There was a show happening, really. A lot of like regular people got mixed up in some shit and got pulled into some dumb stuff. But there was so much of a performance going on there. That was like a PSYOP. Like, to me, it seems like such an obvious example. It was really kind of obvious. They weren't very good at that production. But yeah, it's, and the fact that we're still talking about it, and you guys know tomorrow is going to be a fucking shit show. It is going to, there's going to be, Rachel Maddow. Oh God, you guys, I don't watch any of that shit, but you know it's going to be Meltdown City.
Yep.
It's going to be,
going to be a Schiff show too. Adam Schiff is leading a memorial.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Shift show.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is going to be a shift show. It is. It is. If so, I am the resident gateway to the alt right. I would imagine that Uncle Warren, based solely upon the way that he's dressed, represents Antifa. So I have decided that for the duration of the show, you're going to be Gramp Tifa.
Gramp Tifa.
Gramp Tifa.
Yes.
I like
Gramp
it.
Tifa. I've been upgraded. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go
From Uncle
to Grandpa.
No, for the
Yeah.
duration of the show. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I'll tell you, I got Coors Banquet. I got a whole cooler full on ice, ready for the party tomorrow. We got our spray paints. We got costumes we're gonna put on for the parade that they're gonna have, and
You would not believe how many empty cans of like Truly and fucking shit like that.
Yeah. Hey, Warren, your audio's a little bit loud. Can you is there some way you can like mess with your shit? Your audio's just a little
yes,
bit
I
loud.
can.
Okay.
Turn down your gain.
Yeah.
How
Sorry.
this?
Yeah, that's
How
perfect.
this?
Maybe you're a
There you
little,
go.
you might be a little soft.
That is a little bit more palatable. So thank you.
We'll split the difference. How about that?
Yeah,
Well, I do
okay.
have a bolsterous voice, so
That's fair.
we'll see how that goes. I got
I'm
my
loud too, so
grandpa
I get it.
voice on now, so since I got
Grand Tifa. Own that
got-
shit.
I got-
Own that shit. Shame somebody.
That can be
for
another character you
talking
can
out of
play,
their class
Warren.
structure or something. I don't know.
That's another-
we're gonna tear the shit out of this place tomorrow. These fuckers, these damn Nazis are gonna get it. These damn Nazis. I don't know why I'm doing this, but so I thought it'd be kind of the optical part of
But
it.
yeah, that could be like another character you can play.
Bash the bash.
I wear
that'd
literally
be
many
fun.
hats, so yeah. Well, I'm already out here by the Capitol, so I'm ready to rock and roll tomorrow. So have a
Yeah.
little barbecue.
Yeah.
Are you going to be a counter protester or an agent provocateur in your Antifa role?
Or maybe both.
It depends on what the costume my lady got for me. She said it was a surprise, so you just kind of, once you get it, you just got to wing it. So go with those ad lib skills.
Can I tell you how surreal it was? Like a couple blocks away from the Capitol the night before on the 5th. It's like midnight, getting close to midnight, something like that. And there's a literal no man's land between DC cops and then Antifa on one side and the Proud Boys on the other side. And they're all yelling at each other. And there really quite literally is just 30 yards of empty space in between it. And you could not. I kept looking around for the moving cameras and shit like that to try and get it all in one shot. I kept looking for the guy with the goofy hat in the director's chair. It was nuts. And we look like we look, whatever. So, we walked through one side and they're like, oh, wait, you look kind of familiar. Never mind. And then we walked through the other side and they're like, oh, wait, you look kind of familiar. Never mind. And it was surreal. I don't really know any other way to explain it. It was wild.
Is it just me or is all this stuff like Russiagate? Russiagate was also obvious. I just don't know why people have such a hard time seeing it. It's so obvious. They're over the top even. Like, I mean, even like AOC she's such an over actor, you guys. Holy balls.
Hey, you don't get to be famous Instagram influencer Sandy Cortez.
Nope. That's what she wants to
be. Without being overly emotive. It is amazing. This is historic, Mindy. You should recognize this achievement. Here she is, the first Instagram influencer to get a seat in Congress. And that's progress.
Is it?
It's progress for Instagram. I mean, that's one of theirs,
Yeah.
But they've been priming us for this, like with the Russiagate. That was kind of like the warm up to see, how much bullshit we were going to ingest and take. And then Jan 6 came along, and well, we're going to milk that too. And so come tomorrow, I'm going to probably not be on Twitter as much because I really don't want to see all that bullshit tomorrow, to be honest.
Yes, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I should mention, Glory and I have a show premiering tomorrow. If you guys want to avoid some of the bullshit, so Free the Truth premieres tomorrow at 4 on KRTD Media.
That's right.
So at least you'll have something not. Well, I mean, we'll probably be ridiculous too. Let's be honest, but it'll be a different kind of ridiculous. How about that? It'll be a better kind of ridiculous because we can't help but be ridiculous. I don't even know what we're doing tomorrow. Honestly, I think we're just gonna do like a broad strokes bullshit. That's what I usually do.
Yeah.
Wait. This show isn't scripted. This one, right?
But some people would say that it is, which makes me giggle. The vigils, when people used to say, like, seriously, that the vigils were scripted, that makes me laugh hysterically. Anybody, just go back and watch that shit. It's bad. We're all. I mean, there's especially.
Okay, you know what it was though. You know what it was is that. Whoa, Jesus, dog! What the hell was that? Good
Lord. That dog has an opinion. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure what that was.
Turn off my mic.
At any rate, the first year of the vigils, Taylor was born with news lady voice. And so it just automatically sounds that way. And then the rest of us are decent at improv.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I can just the sheer dent of saying everything in news lady voice makes it sound that way. I know it's not because we're all looking at the Zoom chat where she's like, I have no idea what we're covering today. We don't really either because we decided 10 minutes ago and we threw together a handful of links that maybe two of us have up on screen. Maybe. At the best of times.
Yeah.
And when there would be somebody who prepared a show doc, usually Andrew, would happen during the day beforehand, and it would be lengthy.
Yes. I don't think I've ever created a show doc, honestly.
And nobody would look at it until it was time to go anyway. Frankly, the lack of professionalism exhibited by 100% of everyone involved in the vigils in Slow News Day. I mean, we're honestly,
Magnus is in the chat, dude. I'm gonna send you the link, homie.
So it's flattering to be accused of being scripted. It's flattering.
I think it's hilarious.
Do you know how naturally talented you have to be to just kind of come up with this shit in real time? You should be in awe of Mindy Moneybags. In absolute awe.
No, let's not be ridiculous.
It's a gift, man. It's a gift. It is. No. It's a compliment to be accused of being scripted, especially if you shoot, man. There's times when I've woke up late for my own show.
Yeah. Dude, and you do a lot. I was just talking about this the other day. You're on camera. I don't know. How do you have the energy for that? I get drained.
Cocaine! No.
No, excuse me.
No.
Oh, boy.
But seriously, I get drained. I mean, it's just me, though. I just get drained. Being on camera a lot, talking a lot, wears me out so hard.
Me too.
So hard. Seriously. And you just go, you're like a little Energizer bunny, dude. It's ridiculous. It is. You're either on your own show or you're on somebody else's show. Or
I got bills.
It's kind of incredible. I can't do that. I get tired. I can go through like spurts. Like there have been times where we've done like 9 straight days of like 2 a day interviews or whatever, and that's like a lot for me.
Yeah.
But
When
usually
you first started, when you first started Facts on the Ground, you were going like 6 or 7 days a week for like a month and a half or 2 months or something. It was nuts.
Yeah.
I know that shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then also doing vigils and that's a lot. That is a lot. Also, just keeping all that organized. It's hard, honestly. I'm terrible at that.
That's what I've found doing my show. It's like I hate doing it by myself. If I don't have a guest, oh boy, that's gonna be a short show.
Yeah,
I ain't even gonna like because I want nothing to do with that. But
I tried doing bitch by myself one time solo, and I hate it. I lasted like maybe, I don't know. Sleepy could probably tell too. Maybe like 4 minutes before I was like, I think I saw Steve in the chat, and I'm like, dude, get in here. I am boring. I was boring the shit out of myself. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't. So I need somebody else in here. I don't
have
like
a panic
just talking to
about
myself.
dead air. I do. It's Sleepy. That right there with it has the same it irks me and it irks him. So the dead air stuff kills me, and that's kind of why I like having somebody at least to bounce something off of, or even if it's barely picked up on mic, a half-ass retort or a chuckle or something like that. Usually enough to fill up the air. And sometimes, goddamn it, I want to take a sip of coffee. I do a morning show now, at any rate. And I would.
Kudos to you, fam.
I would do 3 hours in the morning. I would start at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would go to 8 a.m. and then I would try to be done for my day for a number of hours. If I had the resources to do it, for sure, absolutely. I probably wouldn't do it 5 days a week. Probably do it 4 days a week. But I would love to do. I would love to do that. Not there.
Yeah.
But whatever. But it's So it's much better to have at least some kind of human interaction. When for me, there are presenters.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And genuine broadcasters.
Yes.
That are in independent media, and they
are great at what they do. They're great at presenting. Like Sabby. I think Sabby's a great she's a teacher though, so I think that's she's very good at presenting information. And, so I like her style, but that's just not me. That's just not my style. I don't do the presenter thing. I barely do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just me being awkward and weird in myself. That's all. I mean, I don't have like a thing or I don't know. Am I supposed to? I don't know. But yeah, like there are people who I think present really well. Sabi's a great example, I think.
Well, I tell you, when I used to do radio back in the days, you talk about dead air, man. I would have, when I first started radio, it was I would have nightmares where I would wake up in the middle of the night and I wouldn't hear anything, and I'd be like, oh shit, and I'm looking around the bedroom looking for we had carts back in those days. I'm looking for these carts, and I'm like, and then I'm realize where I'm at. I'm like, oh, what the fuck, and then I'd go back to sleep. But that fear of dead air, and especially when you are live doing something, it's like, okay.
Where are those stacks and stacks of tracks on wax? I've got to get into the airwaves and your ears. Yeah,
ain't nothing better than when a CD player goes teats up in the middle of a song, and that's the only working one you got, and got to do a little tap dance in there. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I actually did some stuff with a radio station in Columbus when I was in high school, CD 101. I wanted to be in radio, and just because I love music though. But yeah, that was an interesting experience. I got a lot of free concerts and nice. Free cool experiences. Like they used to have this thing called the Big Room, and bands would come in and play an acoustic set on the day that they were going to play at their show, which was usually at a place like Newport or whatever. But yeah, it was cool. Cool as fuck.
This is the whole arc of that 70s show. What you're describing right now was a whole arc of that.
Was it? 70s. I didn't watch that show.
I never intended to. and I've never seen it in sequence.
I've seen like bits and pieces, you know what I mean? Like you can't avoid it. It was a huge show at one point. So I've seen like clips and, you know, whatever. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched like a whole ass episode.
Creepy little Scientologist.
Yeah, dude, we could go on a whole ass thing about that. They are, I mean, people, people need to look into them. Like, really, I can't believe that they're allowed to go about their business doing the things that they do. It's insanity. I mean, they are exploitative. They are abusive. I mean, allegedly, so I don't get in trouble.
Well,
But
internally, and that's what keeps them off radar.
yeah,
They really, very rarely do they spread it around. It's usually if somebody's saying something about Scientology, they'll try to go after that person through lawyers and get them either sued into oblivion or sued into threatened with lawsuits into shutting up, removing a post, something like that. They don't want any information out about them because they are abusive and crazy, which makes the whole thing with Anonymous and them way back in the day just so beautiful.
yeah, yes. And now actually, like, I don't know much. Does anybody know anything about that show that I think it's, what's her name, Leah Remini or something?
I watched it.
I've seen like bits and pieces of it, but is it like been exposing a lot? I would imagine so. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
according to Sleepy, there's a better one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do like a deep dive into some of that stuff at one point on facts.
Wasn't she on Rogan too, talking about that?
Yeah, she was.
Dude, that's where I first heard her talking about it.
Yeah.
And that was some crazy shit.
Dude, it's fucking nuts. Honestly, you have to, I don't know. I'm not going to try to explain it because I don't know it well enough to explain it properly, but it is like, there's like stages and you have to pay. It's an ass ton of money to be part of this church. First of all, second of all, it's very restrictive. You're not allowed to know certain things or experience certain things or whatever. Anybody who like goes away from the church, you have to like shun them entirely. What are they called? SPs, suppressive persons. And you have to like disconnect. It doesn't matter if they're your kid, if they're your mom, it doesn't matter if they choose to leave Scientology, then you have to completely excommunicate them from your life. It's so, and you can, like, you have to,
it's a cult.
Or you will be pushed out of the church too. It's the church. It's fucking nuts. It is honestly so bad, so abusive.
Well, I'll tell you, if you hate your family, it sounds like a great club, but it sounds a little too pricey for my pocketbook. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
And they just pay it, and it's like this. You have to pay to like reach different levels. I don't know, of consciousness. I guess
it's like Amway. Amway's the same shit.
You don't get to find out your Thetan count. You don't get to find out about what Thetans really are until you've paid a certain level to the church, because the information is going to blow your mind too much. So you've got to have a certain, it really, I mean, it's some gangster shit. You have to have a certain financial stake in the organization before they're going to let you know more about the organizations. Now you're not just spiritually invested in it, you're financially invested in it, you are emotionally invested in it, you're like, it's the same, essentially the same thing that a politician or a political party or something like that.
Well, you're forced to make it your life in Scientology. Like, literally, you are forced to make it your entire existence. Like, you work at their places, and there's like schools, they have schools and shit that your kids will go to, and it's all, I mean, you guys, it's full on cult, full on. And you know, it's so bad. I want to know though, Magnus said Misty is Donna. What the fuck does that mean? Who's Donna?
From that 70s show.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is he insulting me? Should I tell
him?
No,
in the story arc, they got the job at the radio station at high school.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Maybe not in high school. I can't remember. But it was a whole ass thing where.
Yeah. I just thought Magnus was fucking with me, so I wanted to see what that meant.
Yes, he's fucking with you, but he's also paying attention and apparently got the reference. So, like, 3 points.
He's at work. So he loses a point for that because he can't come. So
he loses 5 points for that, but he gained 3 for the things that I mentioned. So
he lost 2 points.
Yeah. You're negative 2, right?
Yeah, see, y'all losing me on this math bullshit. I want nothing to do with that. All right, I didn't come on this show for no fucking numbers. All right, I was going to do a little this,
here to
not
burn
like this.
dumpsters and freak out right wingers.
Shut up, Billy! Don't put that torch on now. We're gonna save up for tomorrow. These dumbasses! I swear, man, you pay good money.
Hey, call the FBI field office. Tell them to hurry up with that pallet of bricks.
right. Yeah, we need our pilot.
No, don't worry, officer. We brought our own this time. We appreciate you, but we got our own. You know, we like to pay our own way.
They get mad when you bring your own.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
really
do.
want you to use theirs.
They want you to use theirs.
They're wonderful hosts. That's why. Come on, people.
This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, though, when I say that it's fucking obvious. Because we have pictures and videos of them bringing pallets full of bricks to protests, like just plopping them in the middle of the street somewhere, and y'all still take that shit seriously. Some of you, not all of us, but some of you. I mean, it's so frustrating because it is so blatantly obvious, y'all. Seriously. Oh,
but they're not showing that on the mainstream media, though. See, and the people,
fair enough.
you know, like folks like us who pay attention through different channels and avenues of information. These yucks that are still watching MSNBC or whatever, they're not going to see the piles of bricks and shit.
Nope.
Yeah. Magnus now says, "Fight me." I'm pretty sure I could take Magnus. What do you guys think? I'm pretty sure I could take Magnus. I'm just saying.
You take one of those money bags back there, whack them upside the head. That's
true story.
Full of cash. Some thrifter cash.
Filled with rubles, bitches.
You get that money, girl. You get it. Go get it.
You don't want none of this shit, dude.
See, you got to level up on the conspiracies about you.
Okay, what should the next step be?
There's a couple of us that actually are the Rockfin blockchain ecosystem.
Is Rockfin a thing? Is that like a thing?
We have a deal. We have a deal with the National Security State, the World Economic Forum.
Through Rockfin?
Yes, to capture independent media and turn them into crypto-loving blockchain worshipers. As you well know, we comment on we talk about it all the time.
I don't, because I don't know enough about it, but I know I don't trust it. I don't know enough. It confuses me. But I have no deals with anybody, motherfuckers. I have told you. Oh, I've told my trolls for years now. They keep saying they're going to expose my grift and I'm getting paid by somebody. I'm getting paid by precisely. Well, that's not fair. I have 2 patrons. That's it. And that's it. But and I do get tips on Rockfin occasionally. So full disclosure, but I have no deals with fucking literally anybody. No people. There are no deals. None. So, and you can't find it. It doesn't exist. I don't have those deals. So shut the entire fuck up, please. God, it's so annoying. Sorry. I needed to get that out there for a minute.
House full of riot shields.
Huh?
Ricky Rance is in the house.
What's up?
Red Brown Allies. What's up, homie?
What's
Red
up?
Brown Allies. Let's go.
I'm watching your chat here to see if your little buddy's showing up, but not yet.
Oh, Mr. Denny, I'm probably just gonna ignore him. He's really kind of annoying now. He was like kind of a novelty for a while. He was interesting for a while, and I think honestly he's not. I just am so deprived of any amount of clever whatsoever in any of my trolls.
Anything in there?
I wasn't going to be the asshole to point that out, Misty, but now that you've come to that conclusion, I'm going to go ahead and agree
with you. But Steve, you have to admit, I'm
starved
for that.
And that is a wise conclusion that you have come to on your own.
Ugh.
You're insightful, but delightful, because that rhymes. Yeah.
So I want to, since Red Brown came up.
Okay, let's go.
I got to shout out my interview.
You gateway to the right, alt-right. Let's go.
Yeah. I got to shout out my interview with Dan Cohen this morning, and I got the promo thing I'm doing on Friday with Alex Rubinstein. And another actual conservative, like a real, he's a conservative Republican individual who's like sort of getting it. And I believe was at the Capitol on the grounds on the 6th, and that's ostensibly what we're going to be talking about. But Alex messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna put you on a panel with the right wing friend of mine, guy I know," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm just so used to being that guy by default. I don't even know how to react.
Operate.
This person is probably hardwired to be opposed to everything that I stand for, and that he believes in the existence of the state." And on that alone, we have a fundamental disagreement. But I think we have a shared experience for January 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we
Well-
got to take turns wearing the buffalo helmet.
Nice. I think you should try to do some face paint shit and do some cosplay tomorrow.
Well,
It's
short
like
notice
Comic
for
Con
that.
only for
It'll
insurrectionists.
piss people off, and it would be funny because it's
I don't
ridiculous.
know if we can get that through DoorDash.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But it would be funny. That would be something I would giggle at.
I love that hat. I ain't gonna lie, that guy's hat, that was just like, wow. I mean, that was just beautiful. And it looked warm as fuck too. We started to get some chilly temperatures up here in New York. So, that had to come in handy, especially going down to the Stop and Shop. People looking at you like, what the fuck is that? Man, I'm just trying to get some coffee. Me and my hat. Yeah, I couldn't. They don't sell those hats around here. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me travel with wrapped sage, so I'm here at Dollar General to get bags of cooking sage that I could use in my rituals as the Q shaman. Take me seriously. This is totally not part of a psyop. No,
I'm scary. I'm a threat to
legitimately a Q
democracy.
shaman.
Yeah. Come on.
I ain't gonna lie. That whole break-in looked like a scene out of Reno 911. I
It was
swear to
fake,
God, because it was
wasn't
like people just
Dude,
with the selfies and
we were there days
know.
before for a force the vote
Force the
protest.
vote.
Christ, a force the vote protest, and then an Assange protest, and there were more cops. I mean, maybe not, but there was a visible presence. There was 20 cops for the force the vote protest or something like that. Or more.
No, so this is fucking
it was a
crazy.
lot.
So with the third and the fourth, not the second, maybe it's all
I wasn't there
blended.
for the second. I didn't get there till the third, so I don't know. About
The very first day,
there was a lot.
when Franco got chased, where Franco got walked up on by Capitol Police. It was like, nah, the fucking white dude over there is the organizer. That just went right back to what
Pasta.
he was saying, without it. So that happened. That was minimal cops. The whatever day that we were in front of the Rayburn building where AOC died, there were 60 because they had also been parading in some black family to try and act like they were solving some problems for the black community. And so they had been escorted into the building while we were there. And I think Fee or somebody was up, maybe Nico was up talking, and this happened. And there was a horseshoe of Capitol Police that outnumbered us easily.
I remember
2 to
that.
1,
Yeah, I
if
was there
not
for that
3
day.
to 1.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then 2
I have
days
pictures
later,
of that somewhere.
yeah, 2 days
Maybe
later,
video even.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole thing got live streamed on a bunch of different channels,
It was.
and I know that there were people taking pictures of the cops.
Yeah. Well, and then we also everybody we talked to in DC while we were going around was talking about the January, they knew January 6th was coming.
We couldn't.
So,
It was hard as hell to get a dang Airbnb. Seriously, I kept saying, it kept saying, okay, you're booked. And then about an hour later, I would get a message saying, oh yeah, no, we're not, no, we're not gonna let anyone in our building today, no, or tomorrow, no. And I guess an email had gone out to Airbnb owners or whatever. property managers, and what it's saying you specifically, we're expecting some wild shit.
Yeah.
So if anybody looks like they may be in town for this, do not rent to them. And so I remember kind of having to explain to the dude, hey, look, we're already here.
Yeah.
We were here for this thing. This thing's done. We're media. Damn right we're sticking around for this shit show, but we're not here for a team. You know,
Right.
we don't have a uniform. Nobody's got special outfits. It's nothing like that. And then we wound up staying in a room that was named the Sativa Suites. The Sativa Suite.
Nice.
Yeah.
They knew you were coming. They knew you were coming.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, there was a shit ton of cops, you guys. At
Wow.
our, to be honest, our protest wasn't that big. I mean, it's hard to get people out for Assange. So, I mean, it wasn't even like it was a huge ass group of people. And there were a shit ton of cops.
It was an
and then you're trying to
unauthorized
tell me that they
protest.
weren't able to prevent January 6th? Come on.
Mhm.
It doesn't make even the tiniest bit of sense. Not even a little bit. What's
remember-
happening? Did Steve get kicked out? Oh, okay. He kicked
I
himself
think
out.
he went back to the Sativa Suite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be
Yeah.
fine. I think they'll take care of it.
By the way, since we're talking about Assange protests, today is the 1000th day that Julian Assange has been in Belmarsh. So we
Wow.
can bitch about that if you guys want, because I'm pretty angry
Yeah.
about it. So we're going to also do a protest. We're going to try to do an action in April, which April 11th will be 3 years, which is fucking crazy to think about.
I can't believe it's been 3 years.
Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna do an action in DC in April. We're gonna try to coordinate with the End the Damn Wars folks again. So we're gonna have to try to find like a mutually agreeable day to do it. I would love to do the 11th, but I have to be kind of I have to have some wiggle room available, to be fair. So yeah, we're gonna try to pool resources and do dual protests. And it's gonna be fun, and we need to be loud. So yeah, if you guys can come to DC, once I get more, I have a GoFundMe that's already started so that we can, because obviously we need to help try to get as many people there as possible. So travel expenses, Airbnb, supplies, getting shirts, and making more buttons and all of that stuff. So there's a GoFundMe up, and then if you guys can come, please come. Let me know. We can try to coordinate the best that we can to get as many people there as humanly possible. But yeah, sometime in April, when we figure out a day, I'll lock it in and let you guys know for sure. But yeah, today is the 1000th day. 1000 days, you guys.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yo, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say though, like all the resources that it takes to get this done, just to get down to these places, and find places to stay and stuff like that. That I'm just like amazed at how well you guys and gals just herd these cats to make that shit happen.
Dude, I don't want to complain, but I mean, if we're being real, activism is extremely expensive.
And thankless.
Extremely expensive. I know I have personally spent thousands of dollars out of pocket. I know lots of other people who have spent a shit ton of money out of pocket. You almost never break even. And it's difficult to do. I mean, it really is. You have to, and especially right now, like I even hate putting up a GoFundMe. I honestly do. I hate it. But I can't afford to pay for all of these people to come into DC. I just can't. I wish I could, but I can't. So it is really expensive. It really is, and it's by design. And I mean, also we're so spread out that it's really difficult to get people.
I'm an hour and a
in one
half from
place.
Washington, so.
Are you? I'm 6.5 hours, which isn't too bad. Like I can do that in a day.
I'm in New Jersey, so.
Oh, okay. I have in fact driven 6.5 hours to DC. Went to the place where we were sleeping, went to sleep, woke up, did a protest, and then drove 6.5 hours back. So like within 36 hours, I was there and back. There, action, back. It was crazy. Wow. Yeah. That's what we call a whiplash tour to DC. Yeah.
I think I would have to. We have these buses. They're called. You have the mega bus, but you also have like they call them the Chinatown buses because they come out of Chinatown, and they're super cheap. Like you can go, like we went to Boston, I think, on one of those things for like $15. So I got to see if one of those will take me down to DC.
You gotta pick me up.
That'd be oh yeah, that's right. We could.
I'm in New Jersey, so.
Well, you and I might be hitchhiking. I don't know. Well, like, how's your thumb these days? Does it, you know?
I want to go to Boston too. I honestly
will they let you on the bus without your papers?
Oh, Chinatown bus they will. Chinatown bus don't give a fuck, man. Chinatown bus says you got money in a heartbeat because we don't want no dead people on this bus. So, but you got a heartbeat and money. Yeah, get on. We don't give a fuck what you got. So, but yeah, that's probably how we'll do it. Or we'll have to hitchhike. You know, grass, gas, or ass, Angel. Nobody rides for free,
If you guys
brother.
go to Boston, legit, let me know because I will go. I will try to make it to Boston. I want to go to Boston anyways to protest with Paula and her crew. I really want to do that. I really want to go to London, you guys. Oh my God, I really want to go to London. I really want to go like hang out with Allie and James and everybody, all of them. I would like to meet all of them. Oh. And Eric, I would love to go meet Eric. God damn it. Yeah.
I'd love to go to London just so people would think, oh, look at that guy with that great tan. You know, because they're like they're cracker white over there. Anyway, what happened? But yeah, I'd like to go too. Sure. But for the Assange thing too, not just to, people.
Yeah, I would just like to go protest with other groups and other places. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, DC, I'm excited to go back to DC. I know that sounds weird because I mean, it is like a shitty reason to have to go to DC but it is, I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of fun. Actions are a lot of fun. It's super cool to get to hang out with everybody and like the late nights making shirts and shit where you're just like, you know, just high as fuck and like just rambling to each other while you're making shirts and you're exhausted. And you know, everything hurts and you have like a scrape on your leg because you dropped the wagon thing as you were trying to fold it up. But you know what I mean? Like there's battle wounds and because it's all very fast. It's all like, it's just like constant. But we do get to have a lot of fun too in between all that. It really is. So,
well, the cool thing about that too is it's like, you know, just getting together with people who are like-minded that are wanting to, you know, do good works like that. It's just great anyway, you know, and then what you're doing it for, you know, it just makes it all worthwhile to me, it seems.
Yeah. I love being in a room with other people who get it. You know what I mean? It's so, it like refuels me honestly because sometimes you feel like you're screaming into the ether. So when you're in like there's a whole bunch of people in a concentrated area and you can bounce ideas off each other and brainstorm and just bullshit. It is a lot of fun. It's so therapeutic actually. Like I'm really looking forward to it because like when we went last year, even the time that I drove so fast, that was such a fun experience. I was exhausted. Oh my God, the drive home sucked balls. And also when I left DC, there's a video, I tweeted a video of this. As I was leaving DC, torrential fucking downpour in DC, floods. And so I couldn't, like, I was having trouble even getting out of DC because there was a traffic jam one way that I was supposed to go because there was a flood. So I had to turn around and I had to like wind myself through DC and like try. And this is like rush hour. Oh my God, it was a nightmare, but it was still a lot of fun. Honestly, it really was.
I got, caught in a flash flood, leaving Reverend Annie's.
Yeah. It floods there terribly if it rains. Like if they get like a really quick, hard storm.
That was in September.
Wasn't that all swampland over there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Build the whole
it's like
thing
going to Louisiana.
Or like Houston.
Yeah, it's just all low-lying swamp, ass, and just everything.
And you
floods.
feel it too. I'm telling you, there's like a really heavy. I'm not like super like woo-woo, but there's like a really heavy feeling in Washington D.C.
Oh no,
really.
No, it's the center of concentrated evil. Yeah, that's why I smoke weed from the moment I'm awake until the moment I go to sleep. If I go to sleep. But I can't even smoke myself to sleep. I can't. Dude.
Steve does not sleep. Steve does not sleep when we're there for stuff. Not generally. Maybe for like a couple hours here and then like 30 minutes there and then, you know what I mean? But he doesn't really sleep. Not really.
Not when it's time.
I don't sleep either. So.
He's a shirt making machine though. Let's be real. You make a lot of shirts, homie.
I do good work.
You make a lot of shirts.
I do good work.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Shadow Band is correct. I have been on screen a lot.
We
today.
just talked about that, Shadow Band. Hi, by the way. We just talked about the fact that Steve is always on. Steve is. You just love yourself too much. You're always on camera.
Tessa gets to come on the show whenever the fuck Tessa wants to come on the show at whatever time she wants to come on the show. And if I just got done with one, that's okay. This is what we're doing.
I feel you.
And that's really why. That's what it comes down to. I thought we had a miscommunication on the time. She's fucking
that shit
half
happens
an
a
hour
lot.
after I got done with the first show or something like that. Right back at it.
Yeah, when you came on, I was like, wait a minute, is it Thursday already? What the fuck? Did I fall asleep? What is it, Thursday morning? What the fuck happened? But it was nice. It was good. Very good interview. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I always
she's
like
awesome.
you, Steve.
She is awesome. She is. The perspective of someone who grew up in the Soviet Union and then was a teenager during Glasnost and the eruption of the whole ass mafia state of the Russian Federation, especially in the early days. To have somebody who like lived through that and then a ton of other gnarly shit, like for her to have the perspective she does, the scope of experience that she does, and still have the outlook that she does, is incredibly unique. And so whenever I can, I'm gonna have a conversation with somebody who's got like that much that they can bring to it, especially as like whacked out smart as that chick is. It's you want insanely deep diving encyclopedic fucking out there redhead chicks. Find Slow News Day. They come on the show between her, Whitney, but like it happens, dude. I don't know.
You just have a draw.
As a member of the ginger community, we appreciate you, Steve, for taking care of our women like that. So keep as you were.
I'm just talking shit, man. I'm just talking shit.
Look, she looks like Chrissy Hines from The Pretenders to me, and I thought, man, what's crazy? Steve's talking to Chrissy Hines. What the fuck? What Tessa? That's not her name. Silly bean. She must be using a fake name or something.
But
I was high. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
That's a good excuse for like lots of things. Every time I fuck something up, I'm like, well, I was high. What can you do?
If I read the chat right, according to that's Shadow Band's spirit animal is Tessa.
Who? What did I miss?
Tessa. Well, no, I was in I think the Rockford chat when I was on with her. I think Shadow Band referred to Tessa as his spirit animal, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, now she's my spirit rocker because I'm always going to think of her as Chrissy Hines from The Pretenders. So, in the middle of the road, you see the darkness thing. Man, they got that song Ohio. That's one of theirs.
Yep.
That's a great song too.
Ohio's not so great.
Man, Rush Limbaugh ruined that song for me.
I was about to say, yeah. I worked with a guy, and he was on the AM side of the radio station, and he was like the one that would do Rush Limbaugh shows every day. It was just like, oh, it was like a vampire walking past a church, just like, oh, you just felt the burn. You talk about the feeling you get being in DC and that evil rot that's like permeates the atmosphere. That was in a microcosm. That's how that was. You'd hear Rush, and you're like, ugh. The fuck?
Boom, 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 boom.
Ah, God damn it. Yeah, I know, right? And then when we come on the radio, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to hear this. You turn the damn station. Psychology, I hate you.
I don't want to hear about the EIB. I don't. No,
well, I don't think you have too much anymore since, whole Rush taking the dirt nap now. So I don't know what happened to that. Did somebody take over EIB, like his little baby there?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't pay
I have
attention.
no idea.
So.
No, what happened was EIB it went into what is that, metamorphosis. It did, and it emerged as the success of the Blaze and the success of whatever Daily Caller and the success of fucking Greg Gutfeld's show. That's what happened. That's what happened. And by the way, in 2002, when Karl Rove said, we are going to have a permanent Republican majority, he was right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got it.
No shit.
Yeah.
They got it.
100%.
They got it. But at the same time, they also have this fucking ridiculous, crazy woke shit that is, I don't know, I kind of destabilizing us culturally, and it's this weird dichotomy of Mussolini-esque corporate fascism mixed with this cultural and at some parts of the economic level, like Stalinist state capitalism, Stalinist communism, and that's what the United States is right now. It's this weird fusion of all of the worst elements of like Marxism, communism, fascism, fucking it's I don't know, dude. We're the melting pot. That's what we are.
Well, and listen, there are some people. It's just the tribalism. It's just the blind allegiance to
I hate that.
things and idea. Like, I mean, I get reading things and appreciating that, taking it in, but nobody's got it 100% right. Nobody. Period. End of story. And like Julian Assange said before, we can't even have ideological conversations because we don't even know the truth. Like, we don't even know where we're starting from if we're being real with ourselves. So it's I don't know. It's so many people are just completely married to a certain tribe, a certain team, a certain aesthetic, and they refuse to even have conversations with people outside of that bubble. And that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. Who does that serve? What does that serve? What do you hope to accomplish in that? It's ridiculous. Not everybody's human beings have a wide range of ideologies and thought process. You know what I mean? Like, we're all incredibly different. And if you think that you're going to just like beat people into submission into your way of thinking, you are a fool. And so completely shutting yourself off from all other ways of thought, just because you have some disagreements in certain places, it's just so self-defeating to me. It really is. I don't understand that at all. We're not all going to agree, period. We're just not. It's not a thing that's going to happen. So it's weird that we have to try to pretend like that's a thing that's ever going to exist. But we won't even have conversations. Like, we can figure out a way to coexist, in better ways for sure. You know what I mean? But if you won't even talk to people, I don't know how you expect to get that done. And we can't even we have to deal with the fucking system that's killing us all first. What, you know what I mean? Like, have all these fights on culture war bullshit. Oh, I'm so tired.
I hate that.
Oh, I'm so tired. But I mean,
I was just gonna say that's the thing of like trying to guide people through the woods. Like, you got all these distractions, and then you got distractions, and then you got this lack of trust because nobody knows 100% whether the information they're getting is true or not, or if there's not some sort of other kind of thing behind it. And so you got all these factors. And so when you're like, even when you're just talking to people that or you've known for a while, some of them will even be like, nah, I don't, like if I tell people I used to watch mainstream media, but now I basically get my news from like, you guys. And I tell them about like this other avenue of information that they could go down, but they're just like, they don't want to get out of the comfort zone. They'd rather, it's like Stockholm syndrome, with the mainstream media. It's like, yeah, they think that shit, but I can't get my media anywhere else. I love them too
Well,
much.
and I think if we're being honest, I think a lot of it is wanting to fit in too, because that's what the other their coworkers at their little office job, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about what was on MSNBC last night, what Rachel Maddow had, discussed on her show, and so they want they want to fit in. They want to just go with the flow, and if you come in there with some shit like you'll be ostracized pretty quickly.
Yeah, especially like in small neighborhoods and communities and stuff like that, where everybody's talking to each other. If you're not on the same page,
Yeah.
you might as well just move, and
Yeah.
people
Plus,
don't
we
wanna
just
do
talked
that.
about the other day. I think a lot of people
No.
are just overwhelmed by how, like, once you have to process the fact that everything you ever thought was a lie. That's I think a lot of people try to avoid that because it's really difficult.
Most people are children, anyways.
Yeah.
I've found that if you stake your claim out early as bona fide tinfoil hat conspiracy guy, they keep you around.
Yeah.
Not only do they keep you around, but all of them tend to ask questions, and then at a certain point, distance at first, certainly, at least until the first cookout. But then after that, it's okay. It's when you come in with some partisan shit, whether it's in the workplace or it's the getting people to realize that no, you're consistent in your criticisms across the board, and that's eventually what's going to do it. At least in a small neighborhood community setting, because you have the opportunity to interact. People get to see how you move in real life. People get to understand that being consistent in your criticisms and also being consistent in what you do through it. That's just how that works. I got accused the other day of having a public image that I need to maintain.
Well, now, look at Fancy Pants over here with your public image. Tell us more, sir, huh? You got Mindy Moneybags over there with their money bags, and you got old Fancy TV boy over here. I feel like I'm out of place. Sorry,
it's his brand, y'all. He's got to protect his brand. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
My brand of never consistently being able to do the show in one location, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You've hung out with me. There are a number of people that I've had that have been on, in a room together on camera, and when the camera goes off, what are the noticeable changes in my demeanor? I mean, I do have a rider that there are certain conditions that have to be met before I come on camera at any time. But outside of that,
yeah.
Look, everybody knows, Steve, you sold out the Big Mushroom. There's people who sell out the Big Pharma, but you sold out the Big Mushroom, buddy. Yeah, we know.
Trying to sell out the Big Mushroom.
You know what, man? There's honestly, in some of my darker moments, I'm like, fuck, I really probably could lean into this thing a little bit, man. I probably could. There's a psilocybin academy. They keep hitting me up asking me to interview people from them. I could probably
do it, fam. Do it. I see no problem with that, honestly. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I don't want to sell shit, dude. I don't.
I know.
I really don't.
I know, but I mean, we all have to survive. I hate when people the way that grifter's thrown away as an insult is people are trying to survive. And if you don't like what they do, nobody's forcing you to donate. Nobody's forcing you to join their Patreon. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Nobody's forcing you. So why, the whole grifter thing? And are there grifters? Absolutely. But it's thrown around to everybody, literally all of the people. If somebody says something you don't like, then you're a grifter, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess I guess for my own sanity, I would have to do an entirely separate thing. That would have to be separate from the rest of the content that I create.
Dude,
whatever
we
you have
need
to do
to-
to be like, I mean, comfortable with it, and you don't like. I'm not saying you have to do it if you're uncomfortable. Like I don't do that kind of stuff, but
I'm uncomfortable anyway. I
Yeah.
thought that's like translatable. I don't know.
fair.
We're gonna totally make you a Matrix Bars commercial for your show. Something separate. Something
Oh
you
my
don't have to
God,
get
can
your,
we
your feet
please?
wet. We can totally make those dreams come
Dude,
true.
can
So
we please? Let's
your
do
people
that.
call my people, right? TV guy, Mr. Mushroom.
Can we
call me.
please, can we please do that? Steve, can you come to DC in April and we can film it? We can all, while we're all together, we can film it then. You can make a commercial. We could do it. It would be so fun.
I would go if I can to DC
Okay.
in April.
Well,
Sure.
hopefully,
Yes,
I mean, I hate asking
absolutely.
for money, but hopefully we can fundraise and like get enough people in DC. I mean, I gotta hate doing it.
Have to
Gotta
have
hate doing
somebody
it.
hang out with the hound.
Oh, I hate fundraising. like
I
that.
hate raising so much, you guys. It makes me extremely uncomfortable. Oh,
Well, you also got to remember too, like, yeah, it sucks. Like for anything, like having I as a Gen Xer, I hate asking people for anything. Right? I want nothing to do with it.
is that a
You
Gen X
know,
thing? I didn't know that.
That is a Gen X thing. The latchkey kids, we had to do it ourselves. So boomers had their little time, and then we were fucked. But
I don't give a shit about this.
I understand why. I mean, you can get a sense from shows that you watch or maybe you casually kind of look at to see what's going on, that like you get a vibe of whether they are totally like trying to make money off of you, whereas there's shows that are like, look, we've got these goals that we want to achieve that we think could be good for everybody, but like grass, gas, or ass, nobody rides for free. We need a little help. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know it sucks to ask, but it's as far as the vibe is concerned, but it's just the sad thing is not a lot of people have a lot to give.
Hey,
And if they can share it, that's great, but we need to rob a bank, is what I'm saying.
We need to
Or
rob all the
two.
banks, allegedly.
All the banks.
Don't come for me.
Yeah, figuratively and literally, maybe.
well, we just need to use counter economics. We
Yeah.
need to stop using banks. We need to use alternative.
And that's not going to be
forms of
easy, you guys. Nobody's saying it's going to be easy. That's not going to be easy. But we need to do something.
I've been doing it my whole life.
It's
There's
exhausting.
things like gray and black market. You can barter it, you can trade, you can use all kinds of different
Grow
things
food,
for
share with your
currency.
community, whatever. There's so many ways that this, like little steps, baby steps. Everybody can do a little something, and I get it. It's overwhelming to like do the whole thing all at once.
You can
for
do
people who are-
You can do like one thing a month, or one thing a day, or one thing a week to step outside of the central banking system a little bit.
Yep.
Just a little bit. 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 By the end of April, if we actually could get different organizers together to coordinate strikes, not general strike,
Yeah,
but
we're not ready for
a
that.
couple of coordinated strikes with a couple of demonstrations that occurred in different parts of that town at the same time over the same extended period, then have a couple more organizers that have coordinated with a couple of different organizers from a couple of different key sectors that allow for the machinations of commerce and exploitation, all that kind of shit to occur. With another couple of key demonstrations, different locations of town. Well, you could spread all of the resources that the state relies on to utilize its monopoly on violence so thin that you could effectively, without trying to herd the lemmings or herd the kittens or whatever you want, to get them all on board for a general strike, you could I don't know, lean in on self-interest, coordinated broadly, but enacted specifically, while establishing whatever you wanted to establish as commerce, currency, and trade right there, right out, either in the open or in the basement, speakeasy style, however you wanted to do it, as a parallel structure. Do this over a period of months, and you have 100% collapsed the way that the central banks have manipulated at least finance here, definitely going to affect finance globally. It's, I don't know, about the most effective nonviolent way to wage warfare that I can think of.
Yes.
But it's going to require like some really heavy hitters getting on board with that idea, and allowing to take credit, letting them take credit for it, which is cool. Let's do that.
Yeah. I don't care about credit.
Right?
I don't care about credit for anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't care. In fact, when people try to give me credit for shit, I get uncomfortable. That's why I joke about like taking credit for shit that I have nothing to do with, because it's nobody needs credit really, but there are people who want it, and if we can exploit that, then okay, let's do that thing. Let's do that. I'm cool with it. So, but we do need heavy hitters.
Yeah, if you could use it to your advantage, great. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But the good thing is, like a lot of you guys that are out in the space doing all this stuff, I mean, the ego is the last thing, but ego is usually the thing that ruins movements, that sort of thing. People like, well, I got to get credit for this, I got to get credit for that. No, we just got to get the shit done. Let's get the shit done first, then we'll have a party and see who gets the trophies and shit like that. But we got to get the shit done first.
It's ego and it's co-optation, because it's really difficult, I think, for a lot of people to avoid the pitfalls of being, you know what I mean? Like it's hard. So.
And there's dividers out there too that are like, stirring the shit too, trying to make that happen because they don't want us to be united. There's always we got to be aware of them too.
Yeah, that's
teach
why,
others.
This is why I talk about narrative control, because this is exactly what's used against us. They have spun a narrative to keep us all arguing amongst ourselves while they rape, pillage, and plunder. And they're grasping, like they're taking massive chunks of power, massive chunks of money, massive chunks of control. You guys, this is like in broad daylight. They're doing this right now. Right fucking now, and it's terrifying, and they've been doing it really for a long time, but I mean it holy balls. They've like put it into overdrive. There's a massive like cash grab, and I mean they're trying to consolidate power even more, and it's getting really intense. I don't know if anybody's paying attention to that, but it is getting really intense. So, and that's all done through narrative. That the way that they're able to control the storyline and what gets talked about and how it gets talked about and what you feel about it. They can control how you feel about it. And that's not like conspiracy theory. That's real fucking life. They manufacture your reality, fam. All of us. I mean, everybody is subjected to it, and nobody's impervious to it. Like we're all, even like people who think that they are above it and they can't. It's still there's no way you can dodge it all. There's no way you can dodge it all. So because you are, especially in this country, you're bombarded from the moment you're born with just bullshit, just like straight up like propaganda and fairy tales, and it's all nonsense. And that's I don't know, it's intense, and it's really getting bad. It's so scary. It really is getting bad. It really is getting bad.
Well, when I was young, growing up in the 70s and 80s, it was like commercialism out the yin yang, just trying to tell you what to do. But the difference was between us and the boomers, that actually worked for them. They got to do all this good. They got to have like cheap, college and stuff like that, good paying jobs and lower taxes and that sort of thing. And by the time Gen X came along, it was like, well, you still get the propaganda of like all your dreams can come true, but in reality, we were the ones getting hosed out of jobs and and student debt, and that was really the first generation, like since the golden days, as they say, that all the shit started going to hell. But that's when you start saying, well, that propaganda's bullshit. But back then in the 50s, and they were like, nah, this is great.
They've just really improved their game.
And millennials are fucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they got more means of propaganda,
Yeah, and I'm a
especially
millennial,
with the
so-
internet.
Well, they're just. I mean, they've perfected their art. Like they have really done an amazing job. I mean, if you just look at what they've done to Julian Assange, they've completely assassinated this dude. Character wise, they have turned him into like this other thing that's universally reviled. And nobody can really articulate why they don't like him. It's these weird abstract things like, oh well, he's weird. Okay.
Oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah, I've
All
heard that
right.
one.
There's but it's been a very effective just smear campaign against one dude. And that's just one example. They do. I mean, look at how they sell you war. Look at how they sell you. I mean, everything, all of the shit. Look at how they're, the Great Reset and all of this stuff. It's just like force fed to people, and I don't know. We're up against a lot. We are really far behind, and that's why the narrative thing scares me so much, because the people in control of that, oh, it's bad. It's bad. These are not good people. It's not good. It's not good. That's why I want people to support independent media so much, because that's the only way. To me, that's the only way we can actively combat it right now. Which is why I tell people, if you have been thinking about starting a channel, start a channel, start a show. We need more voices. We genuinely do. We need lots, because that's the only way. I don't know. I'm rambling now, but it is really frustrating.
Well, you can also take advantage of the people who are basically worshiping their phones and watching and stuff, all their content. If you could sway them away from the mainstream media shit that they might be consuming on those things, and swing them more towards, like, say, look, we have a whole world of different voices, different kinds of messages. I mean, just like, a plethora of stuff. Some of it's bad. Just let the buyer beware.
You're going to disagree with some of it.
Yeah.
You're going to disagree with some people, but you don't have this like 30 minutes of this here, or all day of repeated, regurgitated propaganda.
You don't have segments sponsored by Boeing
or Pfizer.
Or Pfizer.
That was the thing. Yep. When cable news started, it was like, how are we going to fill 24 hours?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can't do a headline news anymore and just repeat the shit every half hour. No, that's when
what's crazy is there's a lot of news. Yeah. There's a shit ton of news that they could be covering in 24 hours if they genuinely wanted to educate their viewership. Of course, that's not ever what they were intended to do. It was to create profit. But, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, you guys, that does not get any coverage whatsoever. None. There's so many things that they could be talking about. Speaking of which,
yeah, so this morning when before I was doing the interview with Dan, I saw that some crazy shit was going down in Kazakhstan. And I didn't really have any kind of confirmation or anything like that. I showed Dan the couple of clips that were up on one of the handful of accounts that just shows protest footage internationally and stuff like that we go through on the show pretty much every day. And he didn't really know what was going on. He didn't want to comment on it. I didn't really have a comment on it. But I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, it looks like they stormed and burned their government building in the Capitol building.
They all resigned.
Drove out the government. Then drove out the troops. Now Russia, Belarus, and some other country are going to send in their troops to secure and stabilize.
Yeah.
The capital city of Kazakhstan, Almaty. I don't want to fuck it up too much, but I'm gonna. That's the name of the town. Dude, I'm fucking Bill Hicks in 2022. It said, it may sound, what is it, mean or cruel or heartless, but that's because I am, so it's gonna come out that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it now on Twitter. Yep.
So,
yep. Yeah, right, Steve.
I don't know. I don't know anything about.
I don't either.
The situation in Kazakhstan. So to automatically say there's a color revolution going on in Kazakhstan.
No, but I'm skeptical.
Just as ridiculous as saying the people of Kazakhstan have finally solely on their own organized and won their freedom, glory, and now they're going to suddenly attach themselves to the Chinese Communist Party or something like that. Like it kind of helps to, I don't know, at least look at the thing for a minute. I don't know, but if you're watching it from Australia, there's a whole lot. You got a lot of backstory on it. Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah. I'm like my immediate is to side. My immediate reaction is to side eye the fuck out of what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see a government office, you see a government building on fucking fire.
Yeah.
It's usually the good sign that there's some shit fuckery
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know they've been. I don't know, dude. Like I know
mean,
there's a number of areas throughout where there was significant, legitimate, real
Uprisings,
unrest
yes.
prior to the whole lockdown. Ronan, I was talking about this with somebody. I think Garland and Wilmer. But I mean, there were 40, 50 countries that had people in the streets. Like, it's not every day, every weekend. There, movements worldwide. I disagree with Dr. Robert Malone and his characterization that people were, isolated and disconnected and feeling fucking, primed for psychosis, particularly in 2019 in the way that he describes it, because there were people that were organized as fuck that were out all over the place.
Yeah.
It wasn't George Soros funded color revolutions anywhere other than like Myanmar and the Hong Kong thing.
Yeah.
But not, I mean, Chile, it was legitimate. According to Whitney, it was legitimate. She was living there, and she's got a really good bullshit detector.
Yeah, she does.
But I mean, there are legitimate protest movements popping off all over the place, and I'm pretty sure Kazakhstan was one of those places. They've had economic austerity. They've had all kinds of crazy shit go down in that country and in that region for all of it. Like, so on the one hand, people wilding out and fucking burning down the Hall of Power, especially in that region. Meh, I can see it. I can also be like, yeah, this is.
Proceed with caution.
So, yeah, it is a mineral-rich spot. There are, they've got resources.
Yeah.
They're right in the middle of, a lot of potential pipelines, trade routes, shit like that. And it's always important to remember that there are going to be like lower level political and territorial squabbles that always take place while something like a fourth industrial revolution is being rolled out. It's supposed to. Distractions help, keeps commerce rolling, keeps that defense contractor industry globally operational, surveillance operational, arms manufacturing operational. It's as long as they've got exploitable resources to generate the weapons, they're gonna go get the exploitable resources.
However, they have to. Any means possible. That's what I'm saying. Like, so many people, I love it when people say, come on, they wouldn't do that. Yes, they would. Oh, yes, they would.
I'm going to go drop this bong back off to Sleepy and take a few drags of a cigarette. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah,
like bong off to Sleepy, is that code? I'm not hip. So, is that like milking the cow in the morning?
Like, I'm being honest. I'm sorry, you're right. It is code. I have a public image that I have to maintain. What I'm really doing is remembering that it's time for communion.
All right.
We're gonna go, worship the Lord for a bit.
You stupid! You ain't gotta worship no Lord.
Dude, if you're in my cult, you could go worship at the altar of Comrade Misty. Are you in my cult?
We have to keep from crying. What?
Seriously, like, we were talking about that. We've been talking about this, but the fact, like, our just absolute gallows humor. Oh,
yeah, you gotta have it. Gotta have it.
Yeah, that's how I survive. It's the only way I can survive. Legit.
That's how I got these little gray babies. You know, that gallows humor came in handy a lot. You know, and people be like, "How can you be so insensitive? How can you feel that way?" It's like, dude, if you can't just get like, you'll break down. I mean, you got to break down every once in a while, like to get it out of your system, and
Yeah,
then you
definitely.
got to go back to dealing with shit. Because if you hold it in, it's just not good. But to
Yeah.
be like just so all the time, it's like no, we can't do that. I can't do that. You know,
I
so
do
that's when
that. If I'm being
you know,
honest, that's kind of how I feel all the time. Is just like, oh, stressed the fuck out and tired and I'm just frustrated mostly. Mostly it's frustration because I don't feel like we're guys, 1,000 days. 1,000 days. He's been in Belmarsh.
you know,
Oh, that's
and God knows what,
nuts.
and God knows what fuckery is going to happen this year. You know,
Well, in
I'm
a
not
couple
saying
weeks,
just
they
with
said
him.
mid-January that we should potentially have a ruling on the defense appeal that they just put through. So I think that's supposed to be mid-January. So that's like, and again, that gets me like on edge, like knowing that that's every time there's like a court date or an announcement or whatever, I always get like super stressed out. So yeah, like that's why hopefully maybe let's do some positive thinking. Maybe we won't have to hold the April protest. Maybe he'll be free by then. Or I mean, I'll just still go and help like in the damn Morse crew. But wouldn't it be cool if we didn't have to do an Assange protest? Or maybe we could do like a Daniel Hale instead,
Yeah,
or
we'll
whatever.
just change it. Yeah.
It would just be cool for Assange to be free. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Seriously, all I want for my birthday's next week. All I want for my birthday, just tweet me an example of like an action you have taken to help free Assange. I don't care what it is. If it's a tweet, if it's if you sent like an email, if you made some phone calls, send me like a screenshot of like whatever, that will make me so happy. Seriously, that will make me so fucking happy. So that's literally all I want for my birthday is for everybody to just do a thing to help, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Phone calls, emails, tweets. If you go hang up flyers in your neighborhood, that would make me super happy. Like there's lots of things. But yeah, that's all I want.
When is your birthday again?
Next Wednesday, we're going to be doing a bitch, January 12th.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the 12th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a birthday party bitch.
Because
Okay.
3 days after that is going to be my birthday. And
Are you the 15th?
I am the 15th.
My husband's the 15th.
Really?
Really?
Oh, that's cool. That's exactly 9 months after MLK was, and that's his birthday. So I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But if we're both born on, I don't know. Well, no, your husband's probably a lot younger than me, unless
No,
he got
maybe
really
not.
lucky.
Maybe not a lot. He's 13 years
No?
older than I am, so
Really?
yeah.
Holy
So
shit! Wait a minute. He was born in 60.
8.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm like into like these like weird like fate things, you know. I do
Are
believe
you?
in reincarnation.
Nice.
But I probably reincarnated from like some jackass that probably, just smoked a lot of pot and just, drank and yelled at his wife, and I don't do those things because it's like, I guess it's like when you go through, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Never mind. I don't even know where I was going with that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So last night I had to do a vigil. It was my first vigil. Andrew left the vigil, or he's left A4A for a little while. He's taking a break. He just needs to like chill out for a little bit. So last night was my first vigil without Andrew. So you guys know I freaked out because that's what I do. So it was very awkward and weird. And like I went on this whole ass rant. Sleepy was there. I went on this whole ass rant and then completely forgot what I was talking about. I was like, fuck. But also, like, I just got off my antidepressants, and let me just tell you guys, I thought I was feeling better. Like, so I'm day 10 without them, I think, day 10 or day 11. But I thought I was feeling better. Like day 9, I tweeted about it. I'm like, I haven't taken one in 9 days. I feel like it's manageable. But then yesterday and today, the brain zaps are fucking crazy. It sucks so hard. I hate antidepressants, you guys. They are the devil. They are the devil. I don't ever want to have to go back on them again. Ever, 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 ever. They're so hard to get off of. It's fucking torture. It's brutal.
Yeah, I don't take them anymore.
Yeah. I've been on them at various points throughout my life. I've always dealt with like mental health stuff. But yeah, they're brutal to come off of. Oh, I hate my life. It's so terrible. And actually, it's not even the first time or the last time that I did it, it was right before I had my second kid. I wanted to get pregnant and I didn't want to be on them when I was pregnant. And so I went cold turkey. Oh, I do not recommend. Oh my God, I do not recommend. I felt like my brain was being electrocuted for like 2 weeks straight. I couldn't walk straight. Like it was, so bad. But I weaned myself off this time. So it was like a slow progression down, which was very not easy, but easier for sure. For sure. So, but yeah, I thought I was in the clear. Nope. Yesterday and today, it was like, nope, fuck you, bitch. We're about to fuck with you some more. Yeah. So it'll take a while for him to get out of my system for sure. But hopefully.
Are you trying to quit for good, or is this just like a temporary thing?
I mean,
or?
I'm just I'm like I've been on him for a long time. So I just want to get off of them. I'm trying to do other things in my life to help with that stuff. So I just really want it off of them. I'm not opposed to ever going back on them if it gets bad. Listen, I've been through severe postpartum depression. So, and I wouldn't recommend that for anybody. And I've had mental health issues my entire life. So if I get to a point where I need to attempt to do something, try something, I'm not opposed to it, but I would really like to not have to do that. I would really like to never have to go back on them. But it is what it is. I'm never going to say never, shit happens sometimes. So yeah, but I would love to stay off of them. I just don't like coming off of them.
I know people who are on Xanax, and they say that it really has helped them. I have a relative. She couldn't even. She would have like panic attacks. She would drive, and then she would get to a bridge, and she couldn't cross over the bridge. She would just have to turn around and go find another way. And then they put her on some Xanax, and it seems to have leveled her out. That's what
my doctor gave me. My doctor gave me Xanax one time because I had to fly, because I have rare and very situational panic attacks. And I never really know, like, for example, one that triggered them was that we were getting ready to go on a trip. I was leaving my kids. I always get anxious about that. But for some reason this time, I mean, I had a full on meltdown, you guys, like a 12-hour long meltdown. I was freaking out. I was convinced the plane was going to crash. I was like, every bad thing that was possible. Like I had a full on breakdown, for like 12 hours.
Wow.
And that sucks. So the next year it's like a yearly trip that for my husband's work. And the next year my husband was like, do you want some Xanax for this trip? And I'm like, yes, please. Cause I didn't know if it was going to happen again. It did not. It's the only time I've ever had that experience in terms of flying. I'm always nervous. I don't like flying, but it's not something that I like freak out about. I freaked the fuck out that time. I'm not gonna lie. I really did. I freaked the entire fuck out.
that kind of happened to me at the I was thinking it's back in August of last year. We went to go see Green Day at Citi Field, and it was the first time I'd been probably to a concert in some time, but definitely in any sort of large crowd in a while, right? So as the show's progressing, I'm starting to feel like I'm deflating, and I'm just like, just kind of like looking around and I'm seeing, it seems like that they were like multiplying. It seemed like there was like more and more and more people, and we were trying to get out of there, and I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. And then we got to the train, and it was jam packed. So it's like, I didn't used to have those problems when I first got to New York, but it seems like in recent years now, I'm starting to develop that kind of thing. So it's like, I wouldn't mind going someplace where there's like probably nobody.
Yeah.
And I still had internet,
Yeah.
I don't deal with crowds well at all. The only time that there's an exception to that rule is concerts. Once I get into a venue and like the music starts, I'm fine. But the whole like getting in, getting out, like I get very nervous about it. I hate crowds. Oh my God, I hate crowds so bad. Oh,
yeah,
there's
it
so
was
many
crazy.
fucking people in the world though, you guys. There's so many people.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers here, that's for sure. I picked the
I live
wrong
in small
place
town
to
Ohio,
live.
and there's still a lot.
Yeah. I picked the wrong place to live if you don't want to be around crowds. It's like, this is where the crowd is.
Yeah.
Every last motherfucker shows up. You're like, what the hell? Who are you? Yeah, so it's nuts. But I never took anything for that though. Like I never got a prescription or anything for that. I've just always just been like a weed smoker, and now I've been doing edibles probably for about 6 months, and I really like edibles. It's like taking a pill to me. So and it levels me out, And I kind of miss the the first rip, ooh, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I kind of like being like even keel. That seems like a better trade-off to me. Just
Hey,
saying.
we already made $20 on the I'm gonna drop this link actually. That's what I meant to do and I got distracted. For the
I thought I said something
GoFundMe. No.
Man, nobody said anything.
This
There's
pause,
a
I'm
dead
like,
air that Steve was talking
Yeah.
about.
bravo! You were so stunned by my story, you could have left speechless. Or you just wasn't paying
It was just so
attention in the
profound we
first
couldn't
place.
process it. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all. It
I know.
was.
You don't have to say it. Everybody knows.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'm sorry. Speaking of edibles, I took a couple, probably about 20 minutes before this shindig started. So
Nice.
giddy up, go,
Yeah.
daddy. Giddy up, go.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how this ends up.
Oh, Steve, I so hope you can come in April. Oh, I really hope you can come. I would like to get the whole like crew back together. I don't know if Convo is going to be able to come though, because they're all over the place right now.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to get most of us back together again and meet new people.
Here's
Yes,
my hope.
I mean,
by April, I will at least not be in California. I'm not sure where yet, or how much closer to the East Coast that will be. However, it should be, any way you shake it, a little bit easier, a little bit, or like $100 cheaper or something like that by April. Yeah. Goals, right?
Right. True story. I think it would be so fun. Seriously, we
But
need to
no,
do more actions because that's seriously like therapy to me.
The MCSC network needs to put together like a solid just couple hours and take that on the road along with whatever action or whatever is going on to cover or whatever this or that something, because I honestly believe that even though it looks like they're kind of pulling back a little bit on lockdowns here and there, they're just still going to go with the passport in some places, might roll it back at others, some shit
They're
like
slow
that.
walking it.
It's an application of pressure, a slight release,
totalitarian
and an application
tiptoe
of more pressure.
Yep.
And we're going to experience a little ebb and flow with this. There's a definite counter narrative going on that is 100% set to get people to believe that if they just slap a couple shiny new parts on a machine designed to kill them, that machine is going to suddenly work for them.
Yeah. But that's exactly how they always do these things. It's a slow walk. They're not going to come right at us. They never have. Y'all, if you just look back 20 years ago, this is what drives me nuts, is that I think because people have like the memory of a gold fucking fish, they don't even remember what things were like 5 years ago or whatever. And
in the before time.
Right.
So long ago.
And they just
long time ago.
And just like little totalitarian tiptoe, they just push you a little bit, and then once you start to protest, they back off just enough, and then once you're complacent again, they push a little bit further, and then once you start to protest, they back away just a little bit, and it's a constant, and that's how we've gotten to where we fucking are, and it's just gonna get worse. It's just getting worse every day. Every day it gets worse. We're already really far behind. I don't know. Oh, stresses me out.
That's a great song. Every day it gets worse.
No,
I'm get some Robert Goulet vibes.
I wouldn't
see. I had the flogging Molly. It's been the worst day since yesterday. That it just sort of.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble for this because it's Marilyn Manson. He's been canceled. But the other day I was thinking that 2021 was like the third day of a 7-day binge. You know what I mean? That's what 2021 felt like.
I mean,
the third day of a 7-day
he's gonna
binge.
get canceled because he had a torture and rape dungeon where he kidnapped and held women against their will to violate them sexually and emotionally.
Yes.
But Antichrist Superstar still slaps. It really does. There's there's no way around that. And if you can't accept both things, I don't know if we can hang out.
I mean, listen, I understand he is an absolute scumbag of a human being, but if you start like just completely there would be no art, you guys. Artists are usually the most fucked up among us. Let's be honest. They're the most empathetic, the most feeling, the most, they feel everything too much. And that causes a lot of fucking issues. And so artists are generally the most screwed up amongst us. You would have no art. You would have zero art because everybody, if you throw a dart at any like list of musicians and one of the, they're all going to have like the one thing that they should be canceled for. Period.
I do think it's sad that he's got to squeeze into pleather and put on the makeup and go out. Like, like that's. I mean, that's a personal choice.
I find him to be a very sad figure.
Some level, okay, like what you look like too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but Alice Cooper does that shit now, and he's like 100 years old. He don't give a fuck. He's like, I'll put it on.
All Alice Cooper does is the eyeshadow, whatever the fuck that. And he doesn't do like the super creepy elongated shit. It's more like football player style lately. And look again.
That's it.
Again, I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that you should throw your Marilyn Manson shit out of your mental Rolodex or physical Rolodex. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care. I think that he's probably a fucking scumbag, and that hopefully at some point there will be some sort of recompense for the people who he fucked over. Yes. I do. But that's the best I can do, and that's all I can do. If anybody's really trying to expect me to do much more than that, then you have misread our relationship.
Yeah.
I felt the same way about Steely Dan. I found out Donald Fagen was a piece of shit. I still love me some Steely Dan.
They're all pieces of shit. Seriously.
Mark Knopfler is a fucking genius.
Yes, and that you shouldn't do we have to deny somebody's genius? Do we have to deny that somebody's art is amazing just because they're all kind of scumbags, like to varying degrees. Like there are some people but you can find something about just about every human being on planet Earth to cancel them over.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Everybody's got their own bullshit. So
yeah, you can cancel me.
For that sappy ass song in Princess Bride, Mark Knopfler should be beaten with a mackerel. He should be. But I mean, it's like whatever, dude. We all make bad choices. Everybody's on a path, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, and Marilyn Manson's probably a racist.
Well, like Marilyn Manson, I think he just bought into his own bullshit way too deep. Like he really just he became the character, and he just way overboard. But I mean, of course, like it's such a fucked up industry. God, that's such a fucked up industry. I don't know how anybody comes out of that normal. Really, it's fucked up. Like that industry is Hollywood and the music industry. So fucked up. Oh yeah, but I'm just not down for there are a lot of art. There's a lot of art that I enjoy that is done by people that I dislike immensely. But I can separate the two, I guess. I don't know why that's bad. I don't know.
Well, it's not I mean, are you giving money to whatever to buy his shit? Well, then you're not, you're not supporting. You're not like.
I mean, I have in the past. I absolutely have.
Right, but that was before you knew he was a scumbag, though, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, I think we all kind of he was always kind of an obvious scumbag, right? I mean, because he did buy into his own bullshit. He was like, he was always kind of like suspect. Like I never thought, I bet he's like a really good guy who's like doing charity. And no, but that's the thing though. It's really not about him. I guess it's just more about the art. I don't know. I guess it's a touchy subject for some people. I'm not about canceling people. I don't know. The art, I can just separate the two. I guess not everybody.
I'm having a hard time separating the art from the artists where punk rock is concerned at the moment.
Well, yeah, it's harder than sometimes they're hard. Like 9 Inch Nails, my favorite band since I was 14, like came out like for Biden. Oh my God, I wanted to vomit. But that's hard. That's a hard fucking pill for me to swallow. Not gonna lie, that was a hard one. But I mean, I still enjoy 9 Inch Nails. 9 Inch Nails got me through life, dude. For real, for real. I mean, Pretty Hate Machine. That album got me through life. So I mean, it sucks that he's an Oscar-winning, douche canoe kind of. I guess not a douche canoe. Just he's rich now. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
It makes a difference for most people. But yeah, Pretty Hate Machine is still a dope ass album, and I will rock that shit all day long. All day long.
I don't
All
know
day.
if Louis the funniest person in the world.
Who? No,
Louis
he's not.
C.K.
No.
I don't know if he's the
No.
funniest person in the world, but he's fucking hilarious.
He's funny. Yeah.
He's funny, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
hilarious. I have no hate for that. They already tried to. There's nothing I can take from Louis that has not already been taken from him.
Yeah, he's also a douche. I mean, he's kind of a douche, but he's funny. He's fucking funny. Dave Chappelle. He's there. I got issues with Dave Chappelle, but he's fucking funny. I mean, I can separate the two. I understand that there are going to be things that I have disagreements with people about, and that doesn't mean I have to like cancel their entire character, their entire being, because we.
It's a little weird when you know people who have like personally like had their fucking faith in humanity restored because of something that like Louis C.K. did for them, or something like that's weird.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah,
but I think because there's a whole lot of stories about Louis where that is not the case. That's not how that story is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Story is in a very, very different way.
Yeah. I mean, he is kind of a douche. Yeah. But he is fucking funny. And I think that those two things can coexist. And it is what it is. I don't know. I guess I understand why people have a hard time reconciling stuff like that. I just don't have a problem with it. It's not.
Dude, for legitimate reasons, people think Adam Kokesh is a scumbag. And that's a 10-year-old, 8-year-old Adam for 12 years ago, something like that they're talking about. That dude, absolutely, and I'm sure he's got his moments, man. I'm sure he does, but I love that motherfucker. I do.
I like Adam. Do people think he's a douche? I didn't know that.
Oh, dude, he crossed some definite lines.
Oh, okay. I don't know him that well. He's been on the Vigil a couple times.
A long time ago. And again, like that's not the dude.
I don't like the whole long time ago thing because people grow and change, and that should be okay with everybody. Like I've said dumb stuff in the past. I mean, everybody has.
I have.
Everybody has. Literally all the people.
Stuff 10 minutes ago.
Right?
I was about to say that's like a daily thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like it's okay to say dumb stuff and then recognize later on, however long it takes you, like, hey, that was kind of a weird position to take or a weird thing to say, and then grow from that and then learn and not say things like that again, and change the way that you think about. Yeah, that's all good. That should be. It's just weird. I hate that whole, well, you 7 years ago you said this thing that blah 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 blah. It's not good. It's not good. That's
it used to be easier. Yeah, before social media, it used to be easier that you could just like let bygones be bygones because you didn't have it like written in the 10 Commandments like you do on Twitter, that you could go into the old Wayback Machine and, oh, you remember when you said this shit when you were like 14? Well, yeah, I'm 30 now, so that was.
Like,
if you don't grow between 14 and 30, like you're doing it wrong. If you haven't had some growth in that time period, you did it wrong. So yeah. But
they're doing that for nefarious reasons or for their own personal gains or for the gains of others that they want to gain favor with, that kind of shit. It really has nothing to do with morality anymore. It's about like what they can get out of that information,
Yeah. And I think a lot of people just like feeling smugly superior.
Yeah, there's that too.
That's definitely true.
A lot of false egos out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like kind of what we were just talking about earlier, that some people need credit. Like some people need like to be able to take credit, and I mean, there are just those people, and we should exploit those people whenever humanly possible. Like if those kinds of people have massive platforms, give them credit. Give them credit. Yeah. Let them. I mean, we have to do that. We have to be willing to do that because I don't give a shit. But yeah, there's a lot of egos, and that's normal. That's humanity. We all have egos, all of us, every last one.
If you know what you're doing. You can not you, Steve. I don't believe that for a minute. You're the humblest person. But you got to take advantage of people if they have these huge platforms and they're doing like just greedy shit with it. if you can use that same mechanism to actually generate some positivity, some production for people like, the working class or whoever needs it, they do it to
Can you
us. They
imagine?
use our
Right.
backs. Let's
Yeah.
get on their backs for a change.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
how obnoxious it would be if we hyped ourselves like a tenth of much of what we deserve?
Well, I mean, I don't.
Like, can you imagine how obnoxious that would be? That would
Yeah.
suck.
Well, there are a lot of
Yeah,
people
that
who
was.
hype themselves a lot more than they deserve too.
Facts.
I'm gonna
Facts.
tell you, when I worked at TV, I worked around a lot of egotistical people, like really unnecessarily egotistical people. And you learn from people like that. You learn, like, wow, what makes them tick, and it's just the most bizarre shit, and they're like, if you know them well enough, you find out all these insecurities that make their
Mhm.
ego that
Yeah.
crazy. It's like that balance of, you got crazy shit insecurity and the crazy ego.
They
It's
need to do some
wow.
shadow work, bitches. They need to do some
And yeah,
shadow
and you
work.
work with these, and some of them are just the nicest people. They're just solid people, but they just got this fucked up shit going on. You're like, oh, that's terrible, But
Well, and that's
a lot of them
capitalism.
are.
I mean, we're born into this weird ass fucking system that is like, extremely exploitative, and it breeds like this. And I think competition is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm an athlete. I love competition. So, but I think that there's just this competition to the death mentality that is terrible, and it makes people run themselves ragged, and it makes them feel bad about taking time off, and so there's this whole. I mean, it's this that's just it's ingrained in people. So like I try to be patient because I realize that that's just they're just a product of their environment, and that's what we need to start tackling. But it's hard. It's hard. I'm not very good at being patient. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I think that's probably obvious. I try. I do try, or I used to try. I've run out of a lot of patience. So there's
Well,
that.
there ain't no way. There ain't no way in hell that I'm ever gonna get egotistical about my little hole in the wall show. And like,
No.
I don't care who comes on there. We're just gonna talk shit. We're not gonna, like, it's not an interview. It's not like me, trying to win all these points with people. It's just like any other living room around the country. It's people smoking a couple of, joints or whatever and just talking shit. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, how can you get egotistical over that? Maybe if there's a successful, sure, but I mean, that ain't gonna. That ain't gonna happen.
But I'm still
I'm too
just some chick
humble.
from
Yeah.
Ohio. But I do think
I'm
that
like him.
uh I just I like when Jesse and I started Facts, like when he like contacted me and was like, hey, do you want to do this show? I'm like, yeah, well, let's meet to get like talk about it. And like one of the first things that we said is like we just want to talk to people who are smarter than us about things that interest us. Like that's all we want to do. And that's really all I want to do. Like I don't consider myself a journalist. I know some people will argue with me about that. I don't consider myself a journalist. I'm just some chick. Like I'm not to be taken seriously. I'm really not. I don't have all the answers. Of course not. Like I just have some opinions and some cool friends. That's it. Nobody should really take me all that seriously. Legit. But I'm self-aware about that. You know what I mean? Like I'm nothing if not painfully self-aware. Painfully self-aware. Yeah. So, but I don't, and it's okay, like to like admit that and just be like, so many people take themselves way too seriously. I mean, really, just way
Yep.
too seriously. Oh, just take a step back, take a breath, take a deep breath, shake it off. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Well, the thing
I'm so,
when you're trying to communicate with different kinds of people that you probably groups that you're not normally associating yourself with, you come in without an ego, then a lot of times those people are going to be like a little more receptive to the message that you're trying to deliver to them. If they think you're some egotistical, so full of yourself person, it don't matter what good news you give them or what kind of good information you give them, they ain't gonna listen to you. They don't give a shit about you because you're not genuine.
Dude, didn't you know that people love it when you like just immediately look at them as irredeemable racists and like look down your nose because they voted for the wrong person and you just can't. Yeah, people love that. It's so inviting. It really is like the best. It's the best like recruitment tool ever. Really. People love
You're
it.
a piece of shit, and here's why.
If there's ever a category for like dystopian news comedy podcast, I would like to think that we're in the top 5 of that. Yeah, I would.
Yeah?
I would. Yeah.
I feel you.
I'd tell you that's my favorite format, to be honest with you. I like a stuffed shirt or whatever, just like, like this super fancy studio or whatever. I don't give a shit about that, man. I want to see Steve out in the woods with like deer
or in the middle
behind
of a field,
him,
perhaps middle
right?
of a field. That's
just that rustic shit that he used to do. I love that shit, man. Half this time I was watching it for the information, the other half I was watching it for the fucking nature, man. I was just like, that's some nice shit.
This has been secretly my angle the whole time, is that I've been doing my own personal tribute to Andy Kaufman. And this whole time I've been Andy Kaufman doing activist and journalist in the era of the internet. It's actually a comedy show. The entire thing, Slow News Day, start to finish, it's a comedy podcast. It's just
nice.
I'm that so far mentally over the rest of the world that nobody figured that out, and I had to explain it 3.5 years into it. It's that deep, bruh. That deep.
I was just picturing you up like on a mountaintop, like wearing like some sort of like
going,
Buddhist,
I'm the only guy.
You got a blunt in one hand and a Matrix bar in the other, and you're like, start singing Gordon Lightfoot songs.
Somebody make the artwork, please. Somebody make the artwork, please.
Lebowski robe.
Steve, like
one in a Matrix bar.
Somebody.
Can I get dude,
Cutler? Where you at, homie?
If it's not gonna happen in real life, can I get a couple of like slim, thick, big booty girls like hanging out with the blunt in the Matrix bar? Because if we're gonna do it, let's please do this correct.
I'm sure we can I'm sure we can make that happen.
Let's get this as like 70s movie poster as possible.
Fuck yeah.
It deserves that level of absurdity. It really does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Agreed. But I need that in my life.
There's always the option of a 3-dimensional photo shoot with to render. Just throwing it out there.
I need somebody to make this, please.
I'm going to tell you, the production budget on here is going to be El Cheapo. We may be looking at like CVS coupons and maybe like steal some clothes off of
dude, I have weed and Matrix bars, and I'm pretty sure I can hustle up a bathrobe. Like
yeah. Let's make this happen then, please.
Pretty low production budget.
Warren, now you want these big booty women, right? Now I'm assuming
like at least
that's true.
I mean, if Freddie Mercury taught us anything.
Thank you, Freddie Mercury.
Take
seriously.
me home tonight. That's right.
Bottom girls make the rockin' world go round, and I hope you do too. Live in a rockin' world. So if the rockin'
get on
world
your bikes and ride.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I was going to say
there ought be nay there must be, Uncle Warren, bottom girls. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not doubting the religion behind the big bottom woman. I worship at that church myself, but
Me too.
I'm just trying to find out where we're going to get these parishioners from, right? So, do you know any, like,
I'm
in
sure
the flesh?
I'm sure we know some people. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Missy. This turned into a production meeting all of a sudden.
Hey,
It
what's
happens
up,
a lot. It
listeners?
happens a lot.
You
The
want
other day,
real
or
big
last
ass
week,
women?
yeah, last week on Bitch,
Oh,
Corey
yeah.
and I had a whole ass production meeting. It happens a lot. Yeah, but I'm sure we can find. Come on, we all know a lot of people. I'm sure we could find some, super hot.
I'm just saying, if you want them in the flesh, that would be better.
Yeah, that's always
Pun intended. But we can digitize some big booty ass girls and put them in there. Now, for the talent on your end, that would be you. You probably would want the
I feel like
actual.
we're over exercising the bit at this point. I do.
I'm just having flashbacks to my commercial production days. I actually
You're
used to
like
do this
stretching
for a
it.
living, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
and that used to
zoomed-
be
I went back in
exactly
time.
how everything was. You know what I mean? That's the industry. That's the industry. But yes,
Long
we
story
do need
short,
to make.
if you
I need
want
that
big
artwork.
ass, yeah, if you want big ass women in there, we'll make it work somehow. So that's
Yeah,
that's all.
somebody
I'll say
needs to
about
make that
so
artwork.
Sounds
It
good.
would be really funny.
we need more big asses.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes. There's no
Okay,
such thing as too
let's
little.
wrap this shit up because I'm not gonna lie, I feel like shit, you guys. Brain zaps are
Aw.
driving me nuts.
All right.
Yeah.
I hope
Okay,
you feel
Angel.
better.
Angel, what do you got going on? What's going down
Well,
with you? What's your channel doing?
well, I'm the handsome cynic on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, all over the place. I'm on Twitter. I'm on that new Getter or GTTR thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on
Get her
that too.
done.
The handsome cynic. Yep. So I'm all over the place. Twitch
Cool.
TV too. It's all the same thing.
Nice. Warren, what's going on with you, my dude?
Got Extra Bullet tomorrow night. Kit Cabello from Hardlands Media is going to come on, and we're going to have a
Yay.
pizza
Oh, nice.
war.
Oh no.
New York. Yeah, he's got this.
Oh.
He's got this beef with Combo
Fiorella,
Couch about New
yeah.
York pizza. But I was like,
Dude,
they don't even
there's a
live in
whole-
New York, kid. I'm gonna bring that real, right? Angel's got my shit right there.
Yeah.
So that's tomorrow night. We're gonna do that at 8:00. YouTube and Twitch, and then later on Odyssey and Rumble. And yeah, that's all I know for so far. So good.
Cool. Steve,
Yes, ma'am.
what's the X is next Tuesday, right?
Next Tuesday, San Jose, California, 100 South 1st Street, Robert F. Peckham Federal Building, 8:30 a.m. Please show up. Please hang out. Jones and I and Keith McHenry and a couple other people are going to try and squeeze into the courtroom for this. We're going to need some folks outside holding it down, making noise while we're in there. Had some good news today. I'll let Glory talk about that tomorrow, or at least a little bit more information than what we had like the last time we were all on a panel together talking about this.
Yay, I like that.
But,
I don't like the mystery, but I like that we have good news.
you know,
I get it. I
mean,
get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's again, it's a little bit more detailed than what we had last time, and it's all been really. I mean, it's all been I don't know, encouraging, I guess, for the last couple of months.
Yay.
About
right.
it, and even if he has to sit for a couple of more months, like it looks like no matter what, he'll be done with all of this by summer at like the latest.
Yay.
So,
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So if you can, Tuesday, January 11th, San Jose, California, 8:30 in the morning, Peckham Federal Building Courthouse. We'll be out there, and we hope you will be too. Yeah, and then other than that, all the stuff at Slow News Day Show, rockfan.com/Slow News Day. Got a link tree, but working on like a bunch of other shit. Dude, it's going to be a monster year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Real talk. Okay, so only thing I have tomorrow, we're supposed to have Vanessa Beeley on Facts, but we might have to shuffle around the time. Tentatively right now it's 11 a.m., but I think we have to move the time on that. So I'm just I got to work out kids stuff, rides from school, and then I'll tweet about what time we've settled on. Let's see what else do I have. Balls. Okay, so yeah, next week's my birthday. So I'm still gonna do bitch. I don't know who's coming. I'm trying to figure out like how I want to go about doing it. It's my birthday. I want it to be fun. So
Should be fun.
I'm gonna ponder that. That'll be fun. What else do I have? I can't think of anything else. I have Fax has a lot of stuff coming up, but I am, you know me, and I'm exactly out of it right now. Like, I feel like shit. So yeah, and if you please, seriously, I'm serious. If you want to make my birthday, just send me like some screenshot or something of some action that you did for Assange. That would make me so very happy. And yeah, and the GoFundMe for April. I'm making it happen. We're gonna go. I would love to be there for the 11th, like actually on the 11th, but I'm willing to be flexible on dates so that we can coordinate with other people. If it's anywhere near the 11th, I think that's good. So, and then there's also somebody, I forget who it was, but somebody created like a calling, like you can do like a calling extravaganza on April 11th, like call the DOJ and all of that stuff. So they have that all set up. Stella tweeted it earlier today. So you can go check that out. And other than that, I don't think I have anything else. So yeah, thanks everybody in the chat for hanging out. Thanks, Gamer. Yeah, it's my 40th birthday too, you guys. So it's like a big fucking deal, right? That's what everybody says. Yeah. It's a big fucking deal. All right. So yeah, next week's gonna be fun. Whatever we do, next week will be fun. It's always fun, really. Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. So thanks you guys for hanging out. I appreciate you. And hopefully you guys will all be able to make it to DC. Everybody make it to DC in April. Let's do it. It'll be fun. Seriously, I want to go. Okay. All right, cool. So we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks, everybody.
All right.